Okay, so today I want to talk about your emotions and why people stay stuck in their negative thinking and how we can change that. So basically, when you're in a negative spiral, you're either doing a few things. You're either having anger or guilt or sadness, which is wishing that you could change the past. Or you're having anxiety and worry, which is wishing that you could change the future. Or you are thinking, obsessing about what people think of you. You're worried about what people think of you. And that's like insecurity and shame. So these are the common emotions, right? Anger, guilt, sadness, anxiety, worry, shame, insecurity. Um, and these are things that people hold on to and they ruminate about them over and over and over and over. It's like these spirals that go. And normally when people have this, you gotta congratulate yourself. It means you are a high achiever. Um, you you're hanging onto something and you're refusing to let it go because you're a high achiever. You are a person who likes to be able to control things. You're basically holding on to control. You want to be able to control things. And let me just throw it out there right now and let me say something to you I really want you to take in. You will never, ever, never, ever, it cannot be done, change the past, change the future, or change what people think of you. Okay? You cannot change what thoughts somebody else has in their own head. You cannot change a future event that is yet to happen because you cannot, um, you know, you just can't predict all the variables. You cannot change something that happened in the past and make it different. And yet we hold on to these things because we want to control. We want to believe that we can. We want to change these things because they weren't good things and they're not good things. And so we, instead of just being in the moment and doing what we can now, we obsess about them. So if we can't change the past, how much anger, how much guilt, or how much sadness do you have to feel? Do you have to continue to feel on a daily basis in order to change the past? Ask yourself that. How much anger do I have to feel towards an event or a person or something that happened in the past? How long do I have to do it? How much time? How much effort? How much focus and dedication do I have to have on this in order to change it? Because that's what our subconscious is doing. We're trying to change it. That's why we hold on to these things. But the answer is you can't. Same with the future. People have these anxiety conditions and panic attacks and worry, and they're always stressed out. How much stress, anxiety, and worry do you have to produce in your own body in order to change or stop something bad that could potentially happen in the future? How much? How much time and effort do you have to put into your anxiety and worry in order to stop and control something from happening in the future? And same thing, how much shame do you have to feel, and insecurity and shame do you have to feel and take on and cloak yourself in order to change what somebody else thinks about you or to change their thoughts? So really take that in, because you can, no matter how good you are, no matter what kind of type A personality, no matter how dedicated, driven, focused, persistent you are, you can never change that. So once you realize this, it's easier to break the cycle. It's easier to say, okay, I cannot change. This thing happened to me in the past. It was horrible. It was the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. And I have anger, I have sadness, and I have guilt about what happened. You have these emotions about something that happened. It was a horrible thing that changed the course of your life, the course of somebody else's life, and you cannot get past it. So ask yourself, how much time, how much energy, how much do you have to hang on to this in order to change it? Well, you can't. Same with the future. So when you realize this, it's easy to say, well then what can I do? What can we change? So the only thing you can change now is what you do, what you think, what you say, and what you feel. So you can do something. You can forgive. You can let it go. You can think something differently. You can stop the negative thoughts. You can put in positive affirmations. You can change the memory. You can think about it differently. You can find the positive in it. You can think about your gratitude list. That's why all these things work. You know, when you're thinking about all these different positive techniques that people have, really what they're doing is saying, what can you do, think, say, or feel right now in this moment to actually change and exert control over your situation. So if you're anxious and worried and scared and have all the stress about something that's potentially coming in the future, you can make a plan. You can choose to think the good things. You can run good scripts in your head of all the wonderful things that are going to happen. You can write down ideas, lists. You can do, think, say, feel something differently about that situation. Same within the past. You are so angry about what happened. You have so much guilt or sadness, depression you just can't get over what happened, right? Now what can you do? Well, maybe you can forgive the person. People say that there's freedom in forgiving the person, the situation. You can say something to yourself to make you feel better. You can feel a different way about it. You can change the memory. You can tap in a new memory. You can do all these things. And same with what people think of you or what other people's thoughts. How much shame do you have to feel? How ashamed do you have to feel about yourself and your situation and your sickness and your illness before somebody's going to know the truth about you, or you can hold your head up high, or you can feel vindicated in some way? It will never happen. The only thing you can focus on is what you can do now, what you can think now, say now, and feel now. So maybe you can just focus on loving other people, being the best person that you can be now, putting your best foot forward, just being yourself. These are all things that you can do. There's a million different techniques. There's a million different ways that you can change and stop negative thoughts. But basically when you realize that all the things and all the scripts and all the worries and everything that's going on in your mind is just basically your attempt to change something, to take control and to change a situation, because you're smart, you're amazing, you're dedicated, you're persistent, you want to change the bad things in the past, in the future, and what other people think. You want to have that control. But as soon as you realize that you have no control, then you just can do the best that you can do in the moment with what you have, and stay there. And don't let yourself go in the past or the future or in somebody else's mind. Stay with yourself. Be grateful for what you have. Remember the lessons that you've learned. Remember that you can change your negative thoughts for positive thoughts. And you can do things, think things, say things, and feel things that will change you, that will actually change and control your reality in the present. And that is what you can focus on, and how you can stop, truly, truly stop the negative spiral. Hope this helps.